A very good morning all of you. I am Anshul Sharma, your biology teacher, and in this video tutorial we are going to discuss about the remaining contraceptive methods. We have discussed about the natural methods, barrier methods, IUDs and the oral contraceptives. Now we are going to discuss the remaining contraceptive methods, and the first is the injectables and implants. That means something that can be injected in the body, and implants are the small needle like structure that can be placed beneath the skin के नीचे उनको implant किया जा सकता है. They contain the small amount of drug or hormone that can be filled in them, and they are responsible to release that small amount of that drug or hormone रेगुलरली इनटू द ब्लड. ये छोटी छोटी निडल जैसे स्ट्रक्चर हैं जिनको स्किन के नीचे इम्प्लांट कर दिया जाता है. इनमें ड्रग भरी हुई होती है, हार्मोन भरा होता है जिसका भी वो इम्प्लांट हो, और फिर वो धीरे धीरे उस ड्रग या हार्मोन को ब्लड में रिलीज करता रहता है. सो द इम्प्लांट्स दैट आर यूज्ड एज अ कंट्रासेप्टिव मेथड, दे कैन कंटेन द प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन और द प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन एंड ऑस्ट्रोजन कॉम्बिनेशन. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द ओरल कंट्रासेप्टिव ऑल्सो, कि वहाँ पे भी हमने पढ़ा था कि प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन या प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन और ऑस्ट्रोजन का कॉम्बिनेशन एक कंट्रासेप्शन की तरह काम कर सकता है. नाउ वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, we will try to understand how this combination works as a contraceptive method. इसको समझने के लिए हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि फीमेल में रिप्रोडक्शन का हार्मोनल कंट्रोल एक्चुअली होता कैसे. In a female, from the hypothalamus, a releasing factor release that is known as GnRH, stands for gonadotrophin releasing hormone. Through blood it goes to the anterior pituitary and cause the release of gonadotrophins from the pituitary, that is FSH and LH. We are considering FSH only here. FSH stands for the follicle stimulating hormone. When anterior pituitary release FSH, FSH reaches to the ovary with the help of blood, and in ovary it causes the development of the follicles. Development of the follicles means increase in size of follicle, and the size will be increased when the number of cells in the follicle increase, and this is how the primary follicle converts into secondary, tertiary and graphene follicle. It is also responsible for the causing the secretion of estrogen from the developing follicle, and this hormone estrogen is released by the cells of follicle. तो अगर follicle develop करेगी, उसमें number of cell बढ़ेगा, तो automatically उसके द्वारा secrete किए जाने वाले estrogen की amount भी बढ़ती जाएगी. And when the amount of or the level of estrogen rise in the blood, that high level of estrogen cause a negative feedback on pituitary and inhibit the release of FSH from the pituitary. That means the high level of estrogen in the blood can stop the release of FSH from the anterior pituitary. So in these implants and even in the oral contraceptive, the female is consuming the estrogen and the combination of estrogen with progesterone. So by this the level of estrogen in the blood of female get raised, and that high level of estrogen stop the release of FSH. If the FSH is not released, then automatically the follicle will not develop, and if the follicle will not develop, then automatically ovulation will not take place, and in the absence of ovulation there will be no pregnancy. So this is how the estrogen and progesterone can work as a contraceptive method. Now when they are required and when they are most efficient, they can be used as pill, implants and etc. There are some emergency condition जहाँ पे हमें तुरंत कंट्रासेप्शन की जरूरत होती है, जैसे रेप का केस हो गया या अनप्रोटेक्टेड जो आपका कैजुअल अनप्रोटेक्टेड इंटरकोर्स है, उस केस में यदि आप प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन और ऑस्ट्रोजन के कॉम्बिनेशन या सिर्फ प्रोजेस्ट्रॉन वाले पिल्स का, इम्प्लांट्स का या इंट्रायूटेराइन डिवाइसेस का यूज़ करते हैं, तो विद इन 72 आवर्स अगर आप रेप के या अनप्रोटेक्टेड इंटरकोर्स के इसको यूज़ करते हैं, तो दे आर द एफिशिएंट कंट्रासेप्टिव. बहुत आसानी से कंट्रासेप्शन किया जा सकता है. द लास्ट मेथड ऑफ द कंट्रासेप्टिव मेथड दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस, दे आर द सर्जिकल मेथड. दे आर ऑल्सो नोन एज स्टेरलाइजेशन. Sterile word represents the organism that cannot reproduce. By these methods, the male and the female can be converted into sterile male and female. That is why this method is also known as the sterile method. Sterile methods works on a principle to block the transfer of gamete. In the case of male, the gametes are transported by the vas deferens, and in the female, the gametes are transported by the fallopian tube. So we are blocking the transport. That means we are blocking these tubes. In the case of male, the sterilization process is called vasectomy. In this process, the small incision is made into the scrotum. Scrotum में एक छोटा सा कट लगा के या तो vas differences को रिमूव कर दिया जाता है या फिर उनको कट करके टाइट कर दिया जाता है, and by doing this we block the passage of semen or sperm. In the case of female, the sterilization process is called tubectomy. Tube word is coming for fallopian tube. In this method, a small incision or cut made in the vagina or in the abdomen of female. By making that cut, we cut that fallopian tube, or we remove the fallopian tube region of the fallopian tube and then tied it, and by doing this we block the fallopian tube. That means we block the transport of ova. So by blocking the transport of sperm and the ova in male and female, we can prevent the fertilization. So by doing studying this, we have completed the topic of contraceptive methods. One important thing that we have to remember, contraceptive methods are not required to maintain the reproductive health. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि इनका लेना ही है हमें reproductive health को maintain करने के लिए, और अगर हम इनका बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ करने लगें तो they have some side effects also, like nausea. Nausea is a feeling of discomfort in the upper abdominal region. They can cause abdominal pain. They can cause the abnormal bleeding during the menstruation. Irregular periods can be there, and sometimes in severe cases they can cause a breast cancer also. That means the continuous and irregular use of contraceptive methods can cause some harmful effect on the body of female. That is why we should not use them regularly, but only in the emergency condition we can use them. Thank you for watching the video.